This is Automating Your Sales Funnel, the Advanced Masterclass session, and my name is Jenny Gibson. I'm going to be your instructor for today. I'm the Director of Data Product Development at Mailchimp. My group works on automation functionality, segmentation, reporting, recommendations, and generally putting the great AI assistants developed by our data science team into the product for you to use. And I'm going to be joined today by my super cool dog, Argos, that you see down here. We're going to be doing a lot of demoing in today's session. So I needed a fake business account, and the best way to do that was to make one for Argos, where he is going to sell treats and pictures of himself and all sorts of great stuff. And we're going to use Argos's account to show you how to do some of our, use some of our best automation functionality. So we're going to start by talking about automation for personalization, which is going to be a little bit of strategy and some stats for you guys. Sample customer journeys for the holidays, and a how-to product demo. And then we're going to save lots of time for questions at the end. I'm happy to answer anything you throw my way, but since this is a demo-focused session, I'm particularly happy to answer the how do you do X in the platform questions. I'll just pull up Argos's fake account and show you how to do it, so feel free to ask lots of questions as we're going through this. Okay, let's dig in. Why do we care about marketing automations? Marketing automations is the best way to deliver personalized content. Personalization is the act of designing or producing something specifically to meet someone's individual requirements. And automation is how you make sure that that unique content is actually delivered at the precise moment it's likely to best resonate with that person. We say that content is personalized when it's delivered at the right time, with the most relevant content for the individual, and in the most engaging way for that individual. Personalization is the real focus, because personalization is the tactic that's associated with the best business outcomes for you. So let's look at some numbers. So when we look at all the emails sent from Mailchimp, we get some really great data, and it shows that personalization works. So sending campaigns at a relevant time results in approximately 14% lift in open rate and approximately 92% lift in click-through rates. So this means that making sure the recipient receives your email at the optimal time for them personally does result in better engagement with that email. A great example of this are the happy birthday emails, and you see one here, a sample of one anyway. Is there anything more personal than someone's actual birthday? No, unique to them. But you don't have time to send one-off emails to everyone on their birthday. Automating this lets you relax, knowing that you'll never miss the perfect moment to celebrate your customer and build up that positive brand relationship. Next, let's think about the relevancy of that content. So campaigns that leverage segmentation for targeting experience approximately 40% higher click-through rate. So segmentation means targeting your email to a specific group of people. It's the functionality that lets Argos send one email to dog toy lovers and another email to dog treat lovers. In this example here that we're seeing, it's targeting content based on a user's past purchase. When the content is targeted like this, it results in a much higher engagement rate from recipients. Thinking about that engagement, what is the engagement we want? Buy. Yeah. Okay, so personalized emails deliver approximately 2x higher average revenue per transaction and approximately 3 times higher transaction rate. So when we say personalized, we're thinking about emails that use scheduling functionality, automation, the customer journey builder, predicted segments or dynamic content or merge fields, which is how in this example we have here, it says, "Dear Jenny," that's an example of personalization. When you personalize the email and then ask the user to do something, like we see here, where they say sign up now for a class or buy something, they are substantially more likely to take that action. So personalization does work. It is worth the energy. We're going to look at a real life example. This is Argos. He's gorgeous. Little tooth. And this is an example of personalized emails that I receive for Argos. Our vet sends personalized emails as part of nurture campaigns, meaning they're really just educational content designed to make me like their brand more, and it totally works. I love this. Every time I get one, it happened back in July, and I remembered it now for this presentation. It's like one of my favorite ones. The one circled in particular stuck out with me because I've never really thought about Argos in the astrological context before. But they pulled his name into the subject line, and I couldn't not click it. It just made me start to think. And really, at the end of the day, what it makes me do is like the brand a little bit more, right? They are talking about Argos and Argos's zodiac sign, and I dig it. So why do we automate? We automate because personalization works. Because you're strapped for time during the holidays and you have more contacts than you can really know personally. So you automate to make sure every email feels one-to-one for that individual. That's saving you some time. Okay, common use cases for automations over the holidays. In this section, I'm going to show you several customer journey workflows that you can set up now so you're ready to go for the holidays. But a couple things to know. Customer Journey Builder is an automated workflow tool. Workflows allow you to customize when a user is going to receive an email based on their specific behaviors. They're comprised of starting points or triggers, so these are things that kick off the next section or the next step in a workflow. Actions, which is work that the journey is doing on your behalf, so sending emails, generating tags, things like that. And rules, which determine when a person goes down to the next step or what path they go in. And I'm going to explain these in more detail as we go through the next slides. We're going to share out these slides with you so you can look at them in your own time. And we're going to dig in the actual demo. And the demo is, I think, when it's all going to start to make the most sense. Customer journeys are available to standard plan users, but we have some simple automations available for our free customers too. The free versions are one trigger, one email packages that are great for starting out with email automation. But because this is an advanced course, we're going to focus more on those rich workflows. And if you're a free user, you can take a look, see if this makes sense for your business. Okay, so let's dig in. Thinking about your sales funnel during the holidays. This is a very standard sales funnel. In fact, it's a very simplified sales funnel. It's comprised of 3 phases in the funnel: awareness, consideration, and purchase. So awareness is when the person is learning about your brand. They're learning about the types of products that you sell. This is kind of that, think about Argos's emails, they're falling in that phase of nurture. Consideration is when a person is considered in market for a purchase. So consideration, I don't know why, but my brain just keeps going to this example. It's like, if you have ripped your pants, you are now in market to buy new pants. And you are going to consider a variety of places to buy those pants from. And that makes you in market for pants, and the people that you're considering, they want to be part of what we call your consideration set. So you as a business want to be in the consideration set, and you want to actually win that business, right? And then purchase, and purchase is as much about the actual purchase and confirming it as it is about building brand loyalty and driving that second sale. So we're going to talk about these in more detail. But during the holidays, you're driving a lot of traffic to your site. So those color bubbles on the top driving into the funnel. You are doing social ads, paid ads, search, SEO, SEM, and then just generally getting more traffic to your site organically because it's the holidays. You want to make the most of this traffic whenever someone hits your website by having automation set up well in advance. So we are going to use Argos to help us understand these concepts. Argos has built out, he's a very advanced dog. He has built out a website for himself where he sells pictures and he sells dog toys and treats, I guess things dogs are interested in. The first thing that he has automated is a pop-up form. This is an example of a pop-up form that I've created through Mailchimp. It's automatically on the website when it triggers. The one that I set up here, it triggers when someone scrolls to the bottom of the page, but you can set it up so if someone's been on the site for X seconds or minutes, then it automatically pops up. It is probably really small, so I'm going to tell you what it says. It's got a little picture of Argos and it says email, and there's a space where someone can enter their email. And then we have some information, some questions that Argos is asking them about themselves. So it says, what kind of dog products are you into? And it's toys, treats, and cute outfits. And then it says, who are your favorite dogs? And then these are 3 dogs, I know. Using this opportunity, this kind of golden moment where you're engaging the person and they're actually hitting their keyboard and they're putting their email address in, they are more likely to give you some information about their interests, and you're going to use that kind of data later when you're customizing the workflows. So don't miss out on the very first automation that you should have, which is a form to capture signups for your newsletters. Okay, let's take a look at some of the customer journeys that we recommend you have set up for people who hit your site and are in that awareness phase. The first one is a welcome flow. We're really going to look at this when we do the demo, when we open up the actual platform and dig into this. But at a high level, let me tell you what the steps are. So what you're seeing here, this is the initiating trigger. So it says when someone signs up for your audience, and that would be someone putting their email address in that pop-up form, or you maybe manually add a new contact, they're added to your audience. Then we have a rule here that says wait 5 hours. Then we have an action, which is send an email. And they get one that says like, welcome to Team Argos, we're happy you're here. Then there is a branch, and that branch says, did people click on that email, the welcome email? If yes, send them down this path. If no, send them down this other path. So you welcome new contacts to engage them the moment they show interest in your brand. And you can track their interest based on email engagement. What did they click the email? Did they open the email? What did they click in the email? That's kind of email engagement. You can track their interests so you know how frequently to email them going forward. You understand kind of what things they're interested in, which links did they click. You can really start to collect some good data about people with these welcome flows. Next, how to do some educational nurture. So thinking back to those Argos emails from his vet, those are nurture emails. They're making me like them, so when they try to sell me something, I'm more likely to go for it. When they tell me that it's time to get Argos's teeth cleaned, I'm like, yeah, you really did make me laugh with that Zodiac email. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I would have done it anyway, I take good care of them. You can develop multiple versions of your welcome content and use the customer journey builder to target the right one to each person. If you think back to that pop-up form, right, Argos had on his website, he collected information about the types of products we're interested in, and now is using that to send emails to people that they're more likely to open because they're targeted based on content. So in this example here, we have, does a person belong to the product interest group of toys? If they do, they're going to go down this path and get a special email that's targeted at dog toys, people who like dog toys. And if not, they're going to go down this no path and get a more generic email. So there are other things that you can do other ways you can capture information about people before they've even made a purchase. You can actually generate like tags and data that you store around the links that they've clicked in the emails you've sent them. You can pay attention to which pages they've visited on your website, and then do what Argos did and use that self-report data too. Okay, next we have the consideration phase. So this is when they are in market. It is the holidays, people are in market. They're in market for a dog toy purchase because it's the gift giving season. So there's a forcing function there. People need to go buy gifts. You want to be in the consideration set, and you want to make sure that if they are considering you, you're giving them ample incentive to finalize that purchase, to convert. So here are some automations you can set up so you're ready to convert people who show interest in your products. This is the first thing that we're going to look at. This is actually not a customer journey flow. This is a calendar that we have within Mailchimp. If you go to the campaigns tab, that's in the yellow bar, the left-hand sidebar, campaigns, then you'll see sub-tabs kind of offset a little bit to the left of the page. You'll see one that says calendar view. So everything that you've scheduled in advance comes onto this calendar here. And you can start to use that to map out and visualize your entire month of November, December, moving into the next year. So you've done all of your marketing planning in advance. The key is doing it in advance because this is labor-intensive work. You've got to get all your content in there. You want to draft the emails, you need to schedule, and you need to segment them. So October might feel early, but it really isn't. Start now. Using Mailchimp's scheduling functionality to plan out the full month and design emails now so everything is ready to go and you can focus on running your business during the busiest days of the year, not just sending out emails and trying to do marketing. Just at a very high level, I'll describe how we've built things out here, a sample holiday campaign. The first two here are more nurture flows. So I'm educating people about the types of toys that I sell, things like that. Then in this flow here, as we're moving towards the end of the month into Black Friday, I'm priming people with this email early in the week. I'm telling them, hey, I'm going to be giving a really great discount for Black Friday. Look out for it. When I send that email, go ahead and click it. It's going to be good. Then on Black Friday, I have a couple segmented versions of emails. So I'm sending out my 50% off Argos, but I've got different versions going to people based on what I know about them. And I've got some social posts scheduled for that week. Then I've got another email going out on Cyber Monday, and if Argos was a nonprofit, he might have some stuff on Giving Tuesday. You can see, because Argos did all of this work and planned everything out, now he's just playing with the product. That's what he does now. Okay, the other thing that you absolutely need to have to work in the consideration phase is an abandoned cart automation. Abandoned cart is critical. If you have an e-commerce integration, be it Mailchimp e-commerce or you're working with WooCommerce, Stripe, anything like that, if you have it integrated into Mailchimp, you need an abandoned cart flow. Abandoned cart is the automation that triggers when someone adds products to their cart online and then leaves your site without finishing the purchase. Maybe they got busy, maybe they're researching other sellers. Oh no, we don't want that. Either way, you want to encourage them to come back and finish the purchase. You're seeing two examples here. This one is pretty basic, this one is super complex, but actually both of these are available for you in the pre-built journeys section. I am going to demo where this is, the pre-built journeys section of our website. So these are actually ones that Mailchimp has built for you, and you just need to do some light customization and turn them on. While the one on the right looks super complex, what it's really doing is using your customer's behavior and your business strategy to deliver a super personalized experience for each customer. With more people coming to your site during the holidays, you don't want to be caught without one of these set up. Mailchimp does offer a free version of abandoned cart, so if you have an e-commerce integration, really, like, there's no excuse, there are free versions of these. They are very straightforward. They have one follow-up email, a quick delay, one follow-up email. But if you go into the standard plan, you can get access to these richer, and by richer, I mean there's more emails, you're doing more follow-up, you're testing out different strategies. That's available with the Customer Journey Builder. And you can build out paths for individuals to follow, right? So it doesn't matter if you're going bonkers with something super sophisticated or really just a straightforward but multi-step flow, you definitely need one set up as soon as possible. And a compelling offer can really help with these abandoned cart flows. So you're going to build out an abandoned cart with, if you're going to build out an abandoned cart with multiple emails, which I do strongly recommend because I think it makes for the most successful type of abandoned cart flow. The best place to start is by testing incrementally richer offers. So an example of this is catering the offer based on the time since the cart was abandoned, and tagging to record how discount or price sensitive a customer really is. So in this flow here, we're going to use our imagination because in order to get the screenshot right, I had to cut off part of the flow. But further up, let's use my cursor, further up, there would be a trigger that says when someone abandons their cart, and then we send them an email that just is a reminder. It doesn't have a discount in it. It just says, hey, we see that you didn't finish your purchase. You want to come back and finish? Then a certain percentage of people really do just need that nudge. And they'll go down this path on yes, and you'll tag them as someone who is not price sensitive. They just needed a reminder. And that's good to know because we'll use that in future journeys. We'll use that to segment emails going forward. That's good data. If that wasn't enough to convert them, then we can send out a second email. And that second email may have a slightly richer offer, or in this case, any offer. This one says 20% off if you come back now and finish your purchase, right? And then you kind of replicate that same process and you say, was 20% off enough to convert this person? And if yes, we'll tag them and say, oh, they are a little bit more discount or price sensitive. This is a great way to test out price elasticity overall for your products and understand really at what price point and what discount are people more likely to buy. There is a cap on this though. At some point the margins and the ROI on this doesn't make sense and you don't want to give away too much. You have to build these out truly knowing your business and the types of products that you're selling. This is a great way to test different types of offers and maybe you give a free shipping offer, something like that before you move into 20% off your total order or something like that. A compelling offer really can help close the sale, but there are lots of ways that you can, lots of strategies that you can use to figure out when you're going to give these offers. So you can do the time since someone abandoned their cart, the value of the products in the abandoned cart, the previous purchase history, have they bought from you before, and site revisits. Did they come back to your site since abandoning it and then abandon again? Well, you might want to, they're showing extra interest. You might want to do something to really convert that sale. So the last phase, the purchase phase in the funnel, which, like I said, isn't really about purchase as much as it is about repurchase and building that brand loyalty. As soon as a purchase is made, you want to focus on building brand loyalty and nurturing for that next purchase. And because this is such a time-sensitive activity, you need to have those automations set up in advance to be ready for that perfect moment. So we're going to look at a couple of these. This first one is a purchase confirmation and shipping notification. So this sample really just meant to kind of show you some of the things you can do. In this example, someone has made a purchase online or offline, and you send them an email that says, Argos's paws are busy working on your order. And then you, using our API trigger, connect to your shipping vendor, and you're able to use that to trigger when they are going to send an email about when the package has been shipped or something like that. Remind users when it's time to repurchase. And I don't know why, but I love this example of vitamins. So you sell someone a bottle of vitamins, and in that vitamin bottle there are 30 pills. So you know that in 30 days they're going to run out of these vitamins. And so you can schedule when someone buys this specific product that I know has 30 pills in it, I am going to send them an email in 30 days and tell them that it's time to repurchase. That kind of personalized follow-up is going to be extra relevant for the individual who bought that specific product. Everyone's favorite, because a lot of people don't know that Mailchimp can do this, sending a survey to collect information about, to collect feedback about a user's purchase and experience with your brand. It's a great way to engage people. It actually is a new tool and a new action that you'll see in our sidebar, so I'll demo this a little bit. But in this flow that we have here, someone makes a purchase and we send them a survey, and then we track whether they have completed the survey or not. So Mailchimp lets you build out these custom surveys and generate tags based on the feedback users provide in the survey. And you can use these to encourage users to provide feedback about your brand. Like I said, great way to engage them, but it's also good to look for people who like your brand. So you go through that survey feedback, identify people who could be great for giving client testimonials or asking them to give online reviews like a Yelp review or something like that. You want to know that they like you before you ask them. There we have most of the automation flows or customer journeys that we recommend you set up. But Mailchimp has a ton of other automation functionality, and I want to review a couple of the ones that I think are particularly great and not frequently used. So the first one is segmentation. This is a free tool for everyone. Segmentation is really the act of building cohorts from your audience. So you can build your own custom segments based on a variety of attributes, but you can also let Mailchimp generate segments for you. And this is an example. Here we see email engagement. So Mailchimp kind of creates these groups or cohorts for you based on the activities engagement from your users. So did they open or did they click your emails? We'll group them into people who often do that or people who rarely do that. And what you want to do is use those segments to your advantage effectively. So often you may communicate with them more frequently because you know they have an affinity for your brand, they're likely to enjoy your content, great stuff there. Rarely, you really only want to communicate with them when you have a great offer or something truly like important to tell them, because they very rarely engage with your content, even if they're buying from you frequently. Some people just don't like getting a lot of emails. You don't want to risk them unsubscribing. So there are different tactics associated with understanding how people engage with emails, but segmentation is really the tool behind that kind of personalization. Next are personalized product recommendations. And this is another free tool. All you have to have is an integration, an e-commerce integration. Again, any vendor or a Mailchimp store. Personalized product recommendations are developed by our data science team, and it looks at all the products you sell, everything in your catalog, and inserts the ones that are most likely to resonate with that individual recipient. So I may get 3 pictures of shirts, and Sally may get 3 pictures of shoes, And that's because I'm more likely to buy shirts and she's more likely to buy shoes. But Mailchimp does all the work for that and will tell you what's most likely to resonate with that individual. So you can let Mailchimp recommend the ideal products for each recipient if you have, these are the requirements, a store integrated, 10 products in your catalog, at least 10 products in your catalog, 50 customers, and at least 500 orders in the past year. But if you don't meet those requirements, don't worry, there are 2 other things that you can do under personalized product recommendations. You can insert your best sellers or your newest arrivals. And these are particularly great for customer journeys because customer journeys are always on. People are constantly flowing through those journeys. And what this does is it allows you to keep the content in these emails super fresh. So at the time, let's say Sally made a purchase last month and she's making her way through the flow and I made one this month, your best sellers month to month are probably different. So she'll get an email with last month's and I'll get an email with this month's. Much more likely to convert when you've got that fresh and relevant content. Okay, merge tags. Okay, this is another free tool. I feel like not enough people use merge tags because they look kind of scary with that like star and pipe, but this is how you insert, like when we saw the Argos personalization emails where it said, you know, Argos's zodiac sign, pulling someone's name in is done through these merge fields. So when you see an email that says, hey Jenny, happy birthday, they used merge tags to do that. And I'll demo how to pull those in just a second. Merge tags are fields in the contact record that can be pulled into the email and will populate with information from that specific individual, for that specific individual receiving the email. Thinking back to Argos, right? We saw how having his name in the subject really did, it was compelling for me, right? And we find that names in subject lines or personalized information in subject lines really do perform better. So you can leverage dozens of pre-built merge fields that we already have. And this is an example of an area where you can kind of start to build out what's right for your business. You can generate your own custom merge fields and populate them with data that you want pulled into emails for people. And last is my absolute favorite, dynamic content. I feel like no one knows about dynamic content, but I will show you how to use it during this demo. Dynamic content lets you insert custom content blocks into an email that will only display for users that match that content block criteria. So this is especially important for personalizing customer journeys where you don't want to have 3 branches in the journey, but you do want to give personalized content in some emails. It cuts down on how many branches you have to put in, but still lets that content be hyper targeted. And this is one I'll demo. It's a really great feature. And speaking of demo, let's do a demo. So hopefully you are all seeing my screen now, and I'm just moving things around in Zoom so I can actually use my fake Argos account. Argos has built out a fake account for us to use here where he's selling products. He has a store, a website, everything's integrated. And we are gonna use his account to generate some customer journeys. We're gonna do a couple samples. I've got them written down here, one for each phase in that funnel. So the first thing we're gonna do is for that, oop, you know what? I wanna show you how I did that actually. Okay, so you're here on your dashboard. This little like points connected by a squiggle, this is the automation tab. You're gonna click that and it's gonna drop you right into the customer journey builder. If you have previous journeys that you've built out, you'll find them under My Journeys. Otherwise, you'll hang out here on the Explore tab. And as you scroll down, you'll see pre-built journeys that we've designed for you. So like I said, we're gonna go through those 3 phases of the sales funnel. And the first one that we're gonna do is a welcome automation. So you can see we've got a couple different welcome ones in here, but we're gonna start with this easy one on top. And actually, if you don't wanna use a pre-built journey, you can always just click create from scratch and go nuts, building out your custom flow. But if you want us to do a little work for you, you can leverage our pre-built journeys. And when you click on the pre-built journey tile, it's gonna take you to a page where you can learn a little bit more about the objective for that journey. We'll tell you a little about why it's useful, what it's going to do for you. If you need any kind of integration or any kind of special access, you would see that delineated up here. You can see a sample of the journey here, so we can zoom out, pan around, see how it works. Yay. And if you scroll down, you'll see some similar journeys that we recommend to people. So let's go ahead and create this journey. and hit create. It's going to ask you for your audience, and I only have one, Argos's audience. Okay, so it automatically throws you into what we call the canvas with steps pre-populated for you. So let's talk through these steps. So the first thing you're seeing up here with the yellow, that's the starting point, or it's the initiating trigger. So when someone signs up for your audience, then they're going to get an email. So think about a contact as a marble, and it's just making its way through the flow. And you're constantly dropping new contacts into these flows, right? So when someone makes a purchase, they're going to trigger into this. They're going to get an email right away that says, welcome to our family, and you can change that. In fact, we will. 1 second. Then it will wait 2 days from the time that someone joined your audience and send out a second email with some more information about you, or the products that you sell, anything. Then it's going to wait 2 more days, and then it's going to ask a question. It's going to say, did this contact engage with both, and by engage I mean click, both of these emails that you sent, or only one or none? And that's what's governing this branch path, right? So if they clicked on both of the emails that you sent, then you're going to tag them, and you can see this tag icon down here. You're going to tag them as high engagement. So this is someone who clicked both of your emails. Not only did they open it, they went to your site, they clicked through. They are very interested in your product, and you're going to use that to send special emails, maybe use it to send them a great discount because they're very engaged. It's good information to have. If they didn't, then you're going to send them down a second branch where you say, did they click only one of those emails? If yes, then I'm going to tag them as medium engagement. And if they didn't click any of my welcome emails, then I'm going to tag them as no engagement. And this is a very basic welcome flow. You can think about how you would customize something like this, and we're going to actually go in and kind of change some things around for the fun of it, so you can see how to do that. But this is a great way to learn about your customers right off the bat. So we understand there are triggers, starting points, actions, which are these ones in kale, I think. I think the color is kale. And then these rules in maroon. So the rules over here and the actions down here. And at any point you can drag these, let's add a time delay here. You can drag them right onto the canvas and drop them in the workflow. And if you don't like it there, you can click the 3 dots and delete the journey point. We'll ask you, are you sure? Yes, I am. And there's lots of actions that you can take. We're not going to demo it in this exact flow. I'll do it in another one, but there's sending a survey, archiving a contact, updating the contact. This would be updating their merge field with some new information that you'll use to customize the emails going forward. Unsubscribe, tag or untag, group or ungroup, and send an email. And we are constantly working to add more actions and triggers to this library. And we'll show you triggers here. It's a real life demo, so I'm going to mess up. Okay, so you can add a second entry point into this. So what we said is when someone joins my audience, or maybe if you add the tag, fun test tag. Now, if either of these things are true, the person will flow into this journey. Now, there are some things you can do to refine this. So let's talk about segmentation and adding that to the triggers. You can click on this and say, I want to kick this journey off for everyone who signs up, but I really only want everyone who signs up and is interested in dog toys, because Argos is very interested in dog toys and really just wants to talk to people who get him and are interested in dog toys. So you click this Get More Specific about who can enter this map link. And it's going to let you, contacts from a custom segment, add some criteria here. So you're going to say, okay, when someone's dog product type, their favorite dog product type, is toys, and then we'll save. And you see that filter showing here now, dog product types of toys. My yikes is because my demo is not going as fast as I'm going to have to pick up my speed here. Okay, so you can add some filters to these triggers to make them even more specific. If you try to turn this journey on, it is going to throw you an error. Yes, it did. Okay, so it's gonna kind of protect you from sending something off without really good content in it. It's gonna tell you you need to go back and edit these 2 emails before you can turn it on. And right now I'm not gonna do that because I wanna show you a couple more journeys. So I'm not gonna turn this specific journey on, but it shows you the ones that you need to go back and update. Let's take a look at another one in the funnel that we recommend. So that was for awareness, welcome. Then we move into consideration. For consideration, we really want an abandoned cart. So let's do send multiple offers to people who have abandoned their cart and build out this journey. Hit continue. Okay, so I have to select my store, and this is the Argos Ink store. And it is going to build out an abandoned cart flow for me. Awesome. So what you're seeing here, we talked about all the elements. You can customize it if you want. It's going to have a standard abandoned cart email already populated for you that's going to pull in the items that the person abandoned, that they left in their cart. And then you have the chance to come down here and edit some of the email content and make it a little bit more personalized. So let's play around with one of these. I'm going to show you how to do a couple things all at once. So if you're in here and you're building out your abandoned cart email, or follow-up email in this case, you may want to say, hey, and then the person's name, right? And so the way that we do that, to move these Zoom things, okay, the way that we do that is with these merge tags. So you see these drop downs here. These are all of the merge tags associated with Argos's account, and I could create more at any time if I wanted to. So I'm going to say, hey, first name. Psych, I didn't do that right. My cursor must have been in the wrong spot. Okay, come buy some dog toys. Okay. Not going to be winning any prizes for great literature here. But below it, I want to send them some personalized product recommendations. So you can see we have product recommendations and personalized product recommendations here, right? So I'm going to pull in the personalized product recommendation block below. And this is where I can decide if I want Mailchimp to recommend some products specific for this person, if I want to do bestsellers or new arrivals. And Argos just doesn't sell enough products to do personalized recommendations, but I strongly recommend if you can take advantage of that. It performs really well. It's great for keeping journeys fresh and keeping that content relevant for people. And you can customize what people see. So you can say, oh, I want them to see 3 products. So pretty awesome. Then we can hit save. Okay, so let's look at dynamic content. You can use dynamic content with any block, but let's say, okay, I've done some personalized recommendations, but if the person has told me that they are really into dog toys, I am going to show them an extra image below here. So I am going to show them a special product. Did I bring in a product instead of an image? Whatever, we're running with it. A picture of Argos that I'm selling for $10,000 because I think he's super valuable. And I turn that into dynamic content. So that's this button up here. You hit dynamic content and you say, I only want to show this specific picture of Argos to people who have told me that their favorite dog is Argos. So then I confirm. I hit save, save and close, and then you'll see a little green dot show up here. So this means that dynamic content is enabled for this particular content block in the email. So every time this email sends with the journey, it's going to show people the best products for them. And then if they meet this specific extra criteria, then I'm going to show them this great picture of Argos because he's so stinking cute. Okay, let's look at one last flow. So this is the journey that I just turned on. And if I go back into it, I'll be able to see how that journey is performing. So you see here they have some stats on this email. I mean, no one's gone through it yet, but it would tell me how many times it's sent, the open rates, and if I click this icon, it'll take me to a more detailed report about this specific email. If I had some tags in here, it would show me how many times those tags had been added or removed, some summary stats over here, how many people had made it through the journey. It's really important when you turn these on to come back regularly and make sure they're still performing well. And you can pause and edit them anytime, add content, change, remove, anything you want to do. Okay, last flow, and then we're going to do questions. I want to show promoting cross-sell opportunities because this is really valuable for that purchase phase. After someone has made a purchase, you can cross-sell and let them know about other things that they should buy from you as well. So if you sell phones, you may send them a follow-up email about the accessories that you also sell. And in this example, we're going to use Argos. And if someone is crazy enough to spend $10,000 on a picture for Argos, I think maybe they'd like to buy this $50,000 picture of my dog Argos. If any of you out there want to spend $50,000 on a picture of my dog Argos, I'm open for business. So, okay, in this journey, someone drops in when they've purchased this specific product, right? There's a delay, and then they say, the journey says, have they bought, during this time, this delay, have they bought a second picture of Argos? Yes, no. If they have, they're going to get an email that just says, hey, according to this flow, they're going to get an email that says, hey, hope you liked your purchase. But I'm going to delete that because if they did buy $60,000 worth of Argos pictures, I really want to know about them. So I'm going to use this send a survey that I'm dragging in and dropping. I'm going to delete the email. And I can ask them why they spent $60,000 on pictures of Argos. So you can edit the email content very easily here. Choose any of the surveys that you've made through Mailchimp. Very easy to make a survey. Hit create, look down, you'll see surveys. Strongly recommend people do this. It is a great way to engage your customers. Then this take surveys button, you can pick any of the surveys that you've created. You can create a new survey. You can actually go in and edit it if you want to. Super easy to do it all through the Journey Builder. Okay, so that was a very rapid demo. Hopefully you found it engaging and interesting. But let's stop for a second and take some questions from you guys. Amy at Mailchimp is going to help me by asking some of your IRL questions. Let's see if I can get back here. Okay, Amy, are you there?
I'm here, Jenny.
Okay, let's hear those questions.
All right, we have a few good ones. Question number 1. So what if a customer ends up on 2 nurturing paths? Could they get multiple emails from the various paths? How are the offers integrated?
Great question. Could they? Yeah, they could. That's why you want to be careful when you're setting these journeys up. And I feel like the demo just wasn't long enough. The filtering criteria for kicking off a journey is really important. So what you want to do is make sure that you have hyper-targeted journeys. So you're really making sure that people are in only one of these nurture flows at a time. But use the filter capabilities to make sure that it's targeted and you don't have people ending up in multiple journeys at the same time.
Great. All right. Is it possible to reduce emails in case someone comes over several triggers? For example, if they signed up for a newsletter, adding products to carts, and then registering for an event?
Is it possible to reduce emails? Yes. So you can filter them out that same way. So you can say if someone, and so we didn't really look at it, but that branching criteria is where you'll add another filter too. So in this example you gave, we'd say send them down this yes path if they, made a purchase, but don't send them down if they also have signed up for an event and also have like any other thing that you wanted to kind of control for, you can build it into the segmentation criteria of a branch. It's probably the easiest way to weed people out. And then if they go down that no path, then you just remove them from the journey. So that's like, we showed adding more steps, but effectively at the end of a branch, if the answer is no, then you'll see a little gray icon that says end of journey, and they'll end up just kind of exiting the flow.
Got it. Okay. So what are the types of automations available, if any, for businesses that do not have their store connected to their Mailchimp account?
Yeah, there are a ton, actually. You can recreate a lot of these things by saying when a user is tagged. So let's say you don't have your store integrated, but you are keeping track of purchases. I use my dad as an example. So he has a company and he doesn't have an e-commerce integration. He does sales directly with people, but he tags them as someone who made a purchase. So when he adds that tag to the content record, then they do end up joining the same type of welcome flow or the same kind of purchase nurture flow. It's a little bit more manual for him because it's not done through the direct e-commerce integration. There's lots of ways to do that though.
Okay. How long of a time delay do you recommend for different emails? For example, welcome emails versus promo emails, etc.
Yeah, so it really depends on your business, which I know is a not cool answer to give, and the type of product that you're selling. But if we're speaking in generalities, right? Promo emails tend to be oriented around an action that you want a person to take and tend to be a little bit more time sensitive, so you'd want a smaller delay there versus something like a purchase follow-up flow like the vitamin example that we gave, where you could say maybe wait 30 days or wait a much longer time for them to experience your product or use up your product or whatever it is based on the product that they've purchased. But if it's like an abandoned cart flow, or if it's something like they've just joined your newsletter and you want to reach out to them, we recommend the delays there be much smaller.
All right, next question. With regards to collecting information in the email capture pop-up, how many fields is too much before it negatively impacts sign-up conversion? Right now, we're only asking for email address, not even the first or last name.
Okay. So I would definitely ask for more than the email address, but the truth is I don't have a great answer for you on exactly like how much is too much. I'll say, because I'm full of opinions, right? Like I tend to think you can get away with maybe a small handful, like 3 to 5 questions, and 5 would be really pushing it. You don't want people to spend very much time on this form. You want them to come back to your website because you're thinking about it as something that's actually disruptive to your website engagement process, right? So someone is on your website and they're scrolling around, right? And they're doing something and you're throwing a pop-up form, and that is jarring, right? If you're on a website and people throw pop-up forms, you kind of know as a user, you're like, I don't love that. It is valuable because you need to collect that email address. Like as a business, it's a pain moment, but there's a lot of benefit. So you want to make that pain moment though as minimal as possible. So collect only what you need to. If you're only collecting email address, you're probably not collecting enough, right? I would definitely look for first name and then some product interest information, but I wouldn't go much heavier than that in that moment.
Okay, we have time for a few more. Let's see. Okay, what types of automations do you recommend for B2B businesses, as abandoned cart or discount emails aren't too relevant for us?
Yeah, so if we're thinking B2B, you have more traditional sales funnel and the nurture becomes more important. So you'll have maybe like a lead follow-up email where you're asking them some information to complete. You could use a survey to complete a form so you can qualify that lead. Then you'll lean a little bit more heavier on this nurture flow where you're educating them, you're getting them to try to reach out to you to schedule a consultation, maybe if it's that kind of B2B. The abandoned carts, things that are e-commerce integrated, become a little less relevant, but there are other integrations. Let's say that you are doing events, you can take advantage, or like if you're doing services that are more B2B, you can take advantage of some of the other integrations that we have. And we do have some special workflows built out specifically for those, and we're constantly adding more.
Great. How many emails would you recommend for an abandoned cart workflow before you start to annoy your customer?
Okay, we don't have a perfect answer for this, but I think it's important to answer questions. I mean, what I've seen most people do, and the thing that I think works best, is the 2 to 3 email nurture. So one, I think it is good to start with a nudge, right? Like, you forgot to finish your purchase. Don't give a discount unless you really have to. And then move into a discount, like incrementally richer discount flow. And I do think it's important to, the flow that I showed was pretty basic. It's important to customize who receives those discounts based on the products that they're buying. So if they're buying really cheap or loss leader products, you might not want to give as rich of a discount and as if they had put something in their cart that was very valuable or a little bit more expensive, depending on your margins, how much discount you can give. If they haven't, the best way to do this though is to target how they're engaging with your email. So if you're 3 emails in and they have not come back to your site and have not clicked or opened any of those emails, it is time to let them go. If during this process, and you can build these conditions out, they have come back to your site since you sent that email, or they've clicked and they just haven't finished, you don't want to stop that conversation yet. So definitely keep, like, you can have a standard 2 to 3, but if you're getting indications that this person is still interested, I would keep going in the abandoned flow. It should just get more and more qualified if you keep emailing them. So don't blast everyone. Blast the people who are clicking, coming to your website, giving you some indication that they are actually interested in the content.
All right, let's see. For cross sells, do we set up the cross sell items manually, or does your algorithm recognize which items are usually bought together and automate the suggestions?
Ooh, I love that. Whoever asked that, you just gave me such a good idea for a cross-sell recommendation. This is recorded. I don't know why I'm writing it down as if I'm going to forget this idea later. That is a great idea, and we don't do that yet. Right now, you have to manually select. So you know your products best, and we're going to say that we'll make that process very easy for you. You'll see a drop down with pictures and price points, and you'll select the product just like I did. That's most likely to be a follow-up purchase, but we're going to go back and talk to data science. I like this algorithm recommendation idea. If anyone wants to send me more of those ideas, please tell me.
Awesome. Well, Jenny, that is all the time we have for Q&A today. Thank you so much. That was super helpful.
Awesome. Thank you guys for all those great questions, and thank you for spending some time with me today. We have 2 more advanced masterclass series coming up this week. Strongly encourage you to attend, and I hope everyone has a really fabulous evening. Thanks, guys.